Hello and welcome to part 2 of 3 for day 1 for Mickey Mouse for 8 weeks for 10 years for 50 decades for a century now. We're going to do part 2 of the first day of the Mickey Mouse study. Now as you can see I've literally just picked up where I left off, had a little mini break, drank some water, great to stay hydrated. And I am working on the turnaround. No, I finished the turnaround. Working on expressions now. So, a new layer or just continue? Yeah, a new layer. So, we know about Mr. Mouse. Oh shit. You know what? Let's just remove that. Position. Let's just put him over there. You can go spinning endlessly over there. You know, the more I watch it, the happier I am. How come they didn't ever make a spinning mouse cartoon? Such a lost opportunity. Right, so we're going to do expressions. So we've learned about Mickey Mouse. We know how his head works. We know how... Well, we don't really know how his head works. That one. Hello. Get the reference back up. We'll move him south. That's where you belong, in the south. Right, so we know how his smiling little face turns around, but as you can see here, like we've got things like his hair actually moving. We've got things like his growing a chin, actually losing his neck to grow a chin. Things like smiling and then really smiling. We got him pissed off. In fact, a lot of it is pissed off. And yeah, so we got a lot of them. It's a thing in the older cartoons, and I saw it a few times, where he's got like each tooth separated. I don't know why. There's no real rhyme or reason to why it's there. It's only really kind of guiltily. Somebody messaging me. The fuck is sap? Goes over there. Right, so we are gonna just start drawing him. So we know about the head, it's a big ball. We know about the ears, they are 2 jutting balls. And I'm going to go for that little worried expression there. So, from what I've kind of done, or when I did it seems to be that the best thing isn't just the central nose, that is always I'd say about 55% of the way down. It seems to be this snout. Because this changes a lot in the snout, because it is the continuous kind of through line of where his hair seems to be. I'm not sure they meant it that way, but that's kind of how I see it. So we'll try that. So we're going to go for... actually, I don't know. We do need a bit of planning with this, because it does seem that is... Let's try that. I don't know, maybe it'll work. As you can see in this picture, he just puts his eyes wherever. We're going to do a bit of like this. And I just shot his eyebrow off of the thing just for fun. Give him a winky eye. See what that looks like. I'm kind of looking up that one. Then we'll give him that kind of confused expression for that girl. See what that does. So, does that look like Mickey Mouse? First question, no. It looks like somebody put Mickey Mouse in the dishwasher. So why is that? Well, in looking at this, I gotta sneeze. That's me. In looking at this one, this seems to be a very rare case, but his eyes seem to be close enough apart. There seems to be a distance that you can't really separate his eyes. Like, I don't think you can make... Well, we could try it. Can you make Mickey Mouse with his eyes, like, to the side? Like, either side? So we'll give him a bit of a chin. A confused chin. I think you have this kind of look. And then we'll try just like that. Okay, it looks wrong. I don't know why. Because weirdly, if I like make his eyes like this, well, it's fine. But I'm wondering if it's to do with the squash and stretch of the eyeballs. You know what I mean? If you don't know what I mean, it's the because you see this is quite shocked. So like the chin is elongating the face. Yeah, that's the word. If I want to make it better, I'd probably elongate it a bit more. But it's also elongating the eyeballs, which does seem to be a bit of what we're looking at here. So, yeah, interesting. So let's try that again with this one. A little bit smaller over here. So we'll put an ear lower, like he genuinely is looking up. We'll put another ear there. Now we're going to shoot his eyebrow off. And then we'll do the other one down here, drip it down. Now we'll put the nose there, put that like that. It's kind of heat. We'll make this eyeball fat. Make this one kind of longish. Okay, so the result we've got from that is that he's been hit in the head with a hammer. Who's ready to watch me stumble through this for 15 minutes? I'm making 3 videos out of this that are like 20 minutes, 15 minutes long, because it just means that in total I'm spending about an hour on this. Which I think is a good amount of time. So I wanted to try something, because I saw... I want to see how floppy you can make his nose. So let's go with a bit lower. Just a bit lower, not straight away like just rip it down here. We know his eyeballs sit here. I think we could probably make him look pretty stoic. I can do it flat, okay. Yeah, you gotta make stuff laugh sometimes, don't you? So that's fine, because it keeps that roundedness. So we do get that bit of stoicism, but we don't get really like much of it. So let's try making him sad. So I think a really good thing to do with those is to kind of like Emilia Clarke the eyebrows. And it does have that effect on him. So it seems that the bulk of his emotion stems from the size of his eyeballs, his mouth expression. and his primarily this location and deformation of the hairline. But we did see some cheeks earlier, so let's try and do that real quick. So let's just draw a Mickey Mouse, draw a bunch at this point. I've tried to draw Mickey Mouse in the past, like, probably I don't know, 40 times? That's probably about right, it's fine. And I'm always quite bad at it. I don't know why. I think there's just certain things about this. Like if you look at these two, they look terrible. But these ones don't look as bad, especially this one I quite like. And it just gets difficult. I think it's just if you mess up. The simpler a character is, if you mess up one thing, it's a lot more apparent. Whilst a more complex character hides in its detail. Just how I feel. But so let's try a shocked expression. And I want to try a move squash and stretch, but that might be a bit too drastic. I believe it was Art Babbitt that said you can never have too much squash and stretch. I don't know if that's true, but I remember hearing something like that. So with this expression, everything would be elongated. That's kind of what I was doing with this one, but to a very, very, very extreme degree. But even that kind of shape would be like this. That's what, yeah, I think it would also be like that. So it does kind of work, but it does. I think what I've missed off here is a bit of his hairline. It does kind of have the same hairline as Adam Sandler. I don't know if that's an insult or a compliment. Well, it depends how you take it, isn't it? Okay, so we've drawn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go for 10, because I think that's a good, nice number. So let's have a look at some of these expressions that we've got. Now, this is a great one. This is fantastic. It's got this little droop here. And let's go with anger, because I love the way he folds his brow. So let's go for this. So a stern kind of smirk. So when you take it away, what is it? Forced double chin. Nose. Now weirdly from this, it looks like his eyes kind of come detached from that. I don't know if that should be the way it is. No, that seems to be sort of thing. That looks bad, so I'm going to try again. So, circle, circle, circle. Look at the nose. Continue that down. Yeah, that looks sterling. And for the final one, let's try and do it right. I like using the references as much as I use my own thoughts. So, what would be a good expression? What about the rocks thing that he does with the eyebrow? That was stupid. Let's go with Yeah, let's just, I don't know, let's try and make him push out his chin. I don't know if anybody else does this. I would hope so. But when I draw expressions, I make the expression. So that I wasn't when I was making it, I was drawing it. No, when I was drawing it, I was making it. So we're gonna go for kind of a pushed up lip. Just if you're that seems to work. I always think I'm gonna have to add ears, but I forget these giant circles are ears. I would have made those. I don't know what expression that is, but it is an expression. And it does actually look more like Mickey Mouse than some of the other ones. Right, so that's been experiment number 2 of 8 weeks. I don't like a lot of them. I think a lot of them are bad, but I think about 4 of them I like. So that's a good amount. Plus, I've spent about 17 minutes on this, so it's not too shabby. Next up, in part 3, will be the poses. I will maybe come back and do a turnaround tonight for the whole body, because I actually only did the head. We will see. But for now, that's part 2. So I'll see you in part 3.